months really digging in here.
Ruvain Post.
Yeah, yes. The latest is Donald Trump is now telling the Post this is the most, quote, and true to form, this is the most regressive tax to womankind ever. If you could respond to that statement specifically, and also just, I realize this is a celebratory day, but you know, most people, a lot of people, hundreds of thousands, not millions, seeing that 40% number, and they feel betrayed. They feel, you know, it's a 40% discount on money that I don't want to pay. Can you at least offer an empathetic statement to people who say, but also to the Trump thing? You know?
One will be empathetic, one won't be. Of course I understand how hard this is, but this is the law of the state of New York. I'm obligated to follow New York law. And I worked hard to find a creative solution to relieve the burden on these same individuals who are struggling. That's all I keep talking about because I've heard them. And I spend more time in diners than probably anybody in this room. And I'm out there listening to people. And I know that's, people say, is that where you're getting information? I take in facts. We convened experts during this time. We talked to national traffic mitigation experts. We convened people that were the smartest minds. But also, I'm not going to ignore the voices of those who feel government is not in touch with them. And I will always do what I can to work with the limitations I have. This is the state law. And I found a path forward that puts literally, when you think about collectively, millions of dollars back in New Yorkers' pockets. And I'm going to continue on that path. So I am sympathetic. I am concerned about them. And that's why I took on this fight in the first place. And I had a conversation with Donald Trump about our shared interest in supporting the MTA, supporting our system, making it world class, or why can't it be something we're all proud of, and Penn Station as well. And this allows for funding to invest in that, $15 billion in this plan. So I would welcome a conversation about the federal government then supplementing that kind of money as well. I'm looking for support from the federal government to support our shared goals of making this a world-class system. So I will have those conversations and ask all of my federal partners, from the president to the Congress on down, and understand that this is a huge driver of our economy, but also as New York goes, so goes the nation when it comes to our economy being strong and robust. And this is what drives our economy. 6 million people get to work on this system every day. And I encourage you again, to take a look at the nice maps we put together for you. When you look at how people from all the surrounding areas are getting into work, by and large, it's over half, 75%, 80%, 90%, 90% are coming in, depending on the county, are coming in from counties where they're using public transportation. So I have a responsibility to them. People who live in Suffolk County, Nassau County, Orange County, Westchester County. I have a responsibility to them to make sure that this system is working. It can't be delayed. They have to get to their jobs. It has to be high functioning. But also, lastly, anybody who's concerned about the cost of living on New Yorkers, what about the state and local tax deduction that was eliminated under the previous time Donald Trump was president? In 2017, Republican House, Republican Senate, Republican White House. And what they did was cost New Yorkers, average New Yorkers, $11,000 more a year. And that pales in comparison to the additional costs of this initiative to keep a public transportation system functioning. So let's talk about this. If we're really serious about the same people that you're mentioning that I'm concerned about, let's give them a break. And in your first days of office, don't eviscerate the public transportation system. Help us by eliminating this burden, which is strangling everyday New Yorkers, a burden that they did not have all these years until 2017 when the Republicans put it in place. Fix that first before you say a word about what I'm doing.
All right, Gabe, last one. Oh.
I just want to amplify what the governor said. You know, the SALT tax deduction affects so many families, but 0.5% of New Yorkers who live in the city will be paying the congestion pricing fee. And even in the counties which have, you know, much more limited mass transit, like Bergen County in New Jersey, it's 1%. So a point of perspective, you have 90% of the people who are coming to the CBD who are taking transit. Just bear in mind, and especially in light of the governor's comments about the comparative impact of SALT, the relatively small percentage of people that this toll does actually affect in real life.
All right, last one, Dave.
Governor, Streets Blog had an internationally known transportation economist run the numbers on a 40% decrease in the tolls, truck tolls, taxi surcharge, everything, and found that CBD traffic speeds would only increase by about 5% in the areas right around the CBD leading to it, about 3%. So what exactly is going to be the threshold here for making sure this actually works and that people don't go, you're tolling us and we don't even get to drive any faster?
No, the study that was done previously when they calculated the cost of all these different, the differential between $9 and $12 and $23, this dollar amount was established to be 13.4% reduction in traffic.
Including the taxi surcharges, including the way that the trucks are tolled, including the lack of caps. Every single policy in this was different than what's in that specific scenario. So do you have what is there, and is there going to be a threshold for saying, this is doing the bare minimum?
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is we feel very strongly that this meets the goals of the NEPA. And if you remember what the NEPA requirements were, it's a 10% reduction in traffic and a 5% reduction in vehicle miles traveled. We are going to be above those, and that it will meet the requirement that we begin to fund the $15 billion for the MTA. So we are confident that that is what we are doing. Obviously, we will continue to watch it, but based on all of our models, we are over that goal in terms of where we need to be to achieve our congestion reduction and to achieve the money that the governor has said that we are very committed to on the MTA.
All right, thanks, everybody.